When I asked David, for example, could we say that God gets a wife and has sex and has children and things like that? You said that would be against the nature of God, right?
I meant like God just...
Yeah, so we're just talking about God. Yeah, I'll give you an example, right? And I think it'll clarify this, right? Do you believe God would have sexual intercourse with a woman?
I believe God has the power to do that if he wanted to, but he wouldn't want to because of his moral nature.
Thank you.
I agree with Anthony's answer that if God had decided after the incarnation to do that, then he'd be able to do that sort of thing.
Now we're saying God could get married and have sex and have children.
I would say if God wanted to do that, and that was part of his eternal plan or something.
So let me ask you a simple question, right? Because let's say a guy comes up to you right now at Balboa Park, right? There's all kinds of religions here, right? And he comes and tells you, hey, God's married to my mom and has sex with her every night, right? For example, right? Would you believe that?
You want the answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
My answer would be this, and I think this is something that we should have been discussing already.
Excellent.
We believe that we don't know anything about God apart from God's own voluntary revelation of himself.
Excellent.
So we are all beholden to him, right? We are dependent on him for life and breath as well as anything we know about him. Right? And anything we know about him that's true is what he's told us. Anything we think we know independently of that is not something we can know to be true. Now, so what I'm getting at is, in the Bible, God revealed himself through the prophets and prepared the world for just what happened in the incarnation. When it says in Galatians 4, for example, that in the fullness of time God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, made under the law, so that he might redeem those who were under the law, right? This is the point of the incarnation. When he says that, this happened in the fullness of time, he's saying that this is the outworking, the culmination, the fulfillment of what had been revealed through the prophets in long ages past. Among those passages that teach that, you have, for example, and I know you've heard some of these, Isaiah 9:6, that he would be the mighty God. Jeremiah 23:6 said that the child that would be born would be Jehovah our righteousness. Malachi 5:2 says that he would be the one whose origins are eternal, right? He has no beginning, no end. He's from of old. So those are the sorts of things that, for me, are necessary in order to adopt this belief, so that when he fulfills these things, I say, okay, that's the one who was announced. This guy popping up out of the middle of nowhere is not showing up in the fullness of time. He's not fulfilling prior prophecy. He's not doing the sorts of things that the Old Testament shows God could do. God appeared to Abraham in Genesis 18. God appeared to Moses in Exodus 3, to numerous prophets. In the Christian view, those things were not only not impossible for God, he revealed that these were possibilities and that they would be a future actuality when Jesus became flesh.
So, Anthony, with all due respect, that was just preacher mode, right? The question again is about that possibility. So if somebody comes and tells you that, right, other than saying that it's not in the Bible, right, which obviously it's not because this is post-Bible, would you say conceptually that makes sense, that God comes, got married to his mom, and hits it every night?
In principle, I've already answered you saying that the incarnation happened. God became flesh in the womb of Mary and was born of her.
So you're saying
fulfilled the prophetic scriptures. You're asking me if some guy popped up out of the blue.
Yes.
I think it would be a natural reaction to that sort of thing if you don't have word from God, century after century, preparing the world for this very event.
Gotcha.
So when it happens, and then that man, on top of everything else, lives a perfect life.
So again, you're avoiding the question.
That's not avoiding the question. This is the logic of Christianity. This is how
that's the problem.
Well, you think it's a problem, but you've yet to demonstrate it. You beg the question, but you haven't answered it.
Look, it's a very simple question, bro. And you're going all around it, right? The thing is, you know, and I know, that, and David knows as well.
Are you going to do a Jedi mind trick now?
No, you don't see me here. Right? So, you know, and let's be honest, right?
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest, right? If some dude walks up right now and tells you that, you're going to be like, you don't know what you're talking about, right? You're going to tell him God doesn't come and get married to your mom. You're just making this stuff up, right? This is something that is not in scripture. You would go into your whole thing, but you would not believe that because you know that's not the nature of God to be getting a wife here and a wife there and having kids here and half there. God is above all of that, right?
You're imputing beliefs to me, though. Can
I add a possible example real quick? Because I think, well, let me give you an example. If someone came up to me and said that they have a time machine in their pocket.
Okay.
I would not believe it for a second.
Okay.
It's not because I don't believe it's possible. It's just I believe that's extraordinarily unlikely, and you would have to provide me with some very good evidence.
Excellent. Okay.
For that, right?
Good.
If someone came up to me and they said they have a square circle in their pocket, I would regard that as impossible.
Thank you.
So
we're with it.
Yeah. So what
when you get with it, then I'll give you.
Those are two things. One is
Right.
it's extraordinarily improbable given everything else I believe.
Right.
That's one thing. And then there's things that I would just regard as possible. If you say, hey, there's a married bachelor over there, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. What you're talking about.
Exactly.
If you say, But so anyway.
That's good. That's a good, excellent example.
If someone were to come up and say, something about someone being incarnate or something like that. Now we're Christians, so we believe in that revelation. We believe in the revelation we have.
Right.
So we don't believe that sort of thing is going to happen. So we would dismiss it on that. As far as
you would dismiss it on basically your belief.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me respond to. Come on, bro.
unjust
Can I
way.
respond to him now, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't finished.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Don't interrupt.
Yes.
I'm not.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, in other words, since we're Christians, we believe that God has sent his revelation and there's no more incarnations or anything coming along, right? So we would say, oh, we're Christians, we believe that. But if we weren't Christians and we were just saying, hey, if God has the power to do what he wants, if God wanted to enter creation and do this, our point is we wouldn't say, I reject that because it's an impossibility or a contradiction. We would say, that sounds really far-fetched, so you're going to have to give me some really good evidence. We wouldn't regard it as a contradiction. In other words, Anthony's point, what he was saying about all this background knowledge and prophecies and so on, is he's saying we do have good evidence, and so that's why we would dismiss it. Because if someone just came along and said, "Hi, I'm Jesus. I'm the divine Son of God who entered into creation," we would say, "No, what are you talking about, man?"
Excellent. Can I speak now, bro? Are you done? All right, thank you, Ken. So that is exactly the point. To me, as a Muslim, and this is what we're discussing here, to me, to say God is a part of the creation in the sense that he is human, that he goes to the bathroom, that he has to go to that he has those human flaws that Jesus would have had as a human being, not moral flaws, right? But we're talking about just physical flaws that we have as humans. To me, is just like you saying a square circle. To me, I see no difference in that. It's apples and oranges, right? Humans, خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانَ ضَعِيفًا, right? Humans have these weaknesses, right? Even if you take Adam before the fall, right? Obviously, he had some inclination to make a mistake, and that's why he ate from the tree that he shouldn't have, right? So that means by nature, even before the fall, he had that weakness to make that mistake. But Allah doesn't. The Creator does not. The Creator does not cry out and say, my God, my God. This is a human attribute where you are calling out to your Creator, right? Now, if the Creator is God himself, he doesn't call out to himself. He doesn't say, my God. Like you never see the Father in the Bible saying, my God, right? David?
So,
let him, I asked David, bro, Anthony, take it. Is your name David? I said right, David?
So, when we were talking, he was just...
Oh, he made a point, so I was responding to his point, but you're going to...
He made a good point, I agree with you.
All right.
I'll take that as a response to me.
Well, I was going to jump in with that. Another example.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, so something that I don't know your beliefs about the Quran. And I'm not changing subject.
Did you get my question, though?
Yeah, I've got it for like the last.
No, I just asked you a question right now.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for the Father to cry out, my God, right?
Why?
Apart from becoming incarnate.
Yeah, apart from becoming...
No, I'm saying for the Father.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you ever see the Father saying, my God?
He refers to the Son.
Can I speak? Man, David, you got like a king to us or something? Like you pull strings?
Why are you so afraid to hear
I'm
a couple
not.
people?
I will talk to you.
It's not like I'm going to let you talk too.
I'm going to let him talk first, and then I'll talk to you. I've been talking to you this whole time. So the question, David, is, do you ever find the Father saying, my God?
He calls Jesus God.
My God?
No, if you're talking about Jesus crying out, my God, you say, no, the Father doesn't do that, right?
Okay.
We don't believe
Gotcha.
that.
So the Father, then this is the nature of the Creator. He doesn't call out. He is the one you call out to. That's the nature of God. And the nature of humans is we have weaknesses, so we call out to our Creator. Right? This is the exact point you're missing. right? Humans have those shortcomings, those needs, those necessities that the Creator doesn't. So the Creator doesn't call out and says, my God, why have you forsaken me? But a human would.
Yeah, and so this, yeah,
he was human.
Yeah, and so.
But he was God, you're saying.
I just wanted.
He became flesh.
But he was completely God.
You don't realize you're begging the question.
No.
Yeah,
I'm making a very clear distinction.
So,
go ahead.
So I don't know exactly what you believe about the Quran and the speech.
I believe in the Quran, the Kalam Allah.
Yeah. But lots of Muslims tell me that Allah's speech is eternal, co-eternal with Allah.
Sure.
And this isn't. I'm not changing the subject here. This is an example. This is an example of what we're talking about.
I'm listening.
So, if the Quran is Allah's eternal speech, then if you were to say, hey, does it make sense does the Quran have a beginning? Something like that. I would say, no, if it's eternal, then it has no beginning.
You're right.
If you said, can it be corrupted? I would say, no, it's divine. It can't be corrupted, right? So if you were to ask these kinds of questions, I would say, as far as the eternal speech of Allah or an attribute of God, I would say those kinds of things, it doesn't make sense to raise those kinds of questions, right? But if you were to say to me that we have a physical Quran, right?
Excellent.
This doesn't have the Arabic in it, but assuming this had the Arabic in it, that we have a physical copy of the Quran.
Excellent.
Then it seems like the physical copy of the Quran would kind of have two natures. It's the eternal speech of Allah, and yet it's entered our world because we have a physical world. It's entered our world as a physical book made of paper and glue and ink. And therefore, if you were to ask me, does it make sense to talk about this as having a beginning, or about this being corrupted and changed and so on, then I would say, yes, it's a physical book. Of course, it can fall apart. It eventually will. You mentioned earlier that people can eat it or burn it or all kinds of things. And so it makes sense to talk about a physical
weird people,
It makes sense to talk about a physical Quran. So in other words, I would say that a book that has two natures, that it's the eternal speech of Allah entered into creation in a physical form so that we can have it, it now makes sense to talk about this having a beginning, and I'm assuming it has a publication date. So it now makes sense to talk about this having a publication date. It now makes sense. It didn't make sense before when you're talking about the speech of Allah before it comes into creation. Once it enters into creation, now we can ask these questions. But if I were to take your objection seriously, I would have to say, no, it's absurd to talk about these eternal things that can't be corrupted, being corruptible, having a beginning, having an end, falling apart. That makes no sense of the eternal speech of Allah.
Excellent.
Are you playing?
Excellent.
Oh no, you guys don't do music. You don't do music.
No, I'll let you play the music for us. All right.
I don't know how to play it.
Come on, learn. All right. So now, excellent answer. I appreciate that. All right. So let's go to that now. Right. The Quran is Kalam Allah. Right? The Quran will never call out to Allah. Okay? Now, in the Quran, you will never say, take it easy, Anthony.
Is it true?
Hold it together, crook. Hold it together. I will. Okay? The Quran itself is Kalam Allah. Right? The Quran responds to, for example, the Prophet ﷺ, right? But the Quran does not speak to Allah. It is the speech of Allah. Allah teaches us, for example, ad'iyah, which are called dua, supplications, for us to use to call to Allah, right? But let me finish, bro. Take it easy. Yeah, I got you. Okay, so now, when you say this has a publication date, none of us standing here as Muslims will say this is a part of the creator. Right? This here is a published book. That's why the Quran is recited and the Quran is revealed. It was never sent just like a book, right? Because then that book, once it hits the earth, then that would be part of the worldly things. That's why Imam al-Bukhari has a book called Khalaq al-Af'al al-Ibad, where he talks about the recitation or the paper or the ink is not what is Quran. Quran is what is revealed, and before the Day of Judgment it will be taken up, and that revelation can never be corrupted. That revelation is always preserved, and that revelation doesn't weaken. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, when you talk about Jesus now, on the other hand, when you say that he came and he became human, but then at the same breath you say that he's always one. God is not divisible. So you're saying then that is God himself, even though he's human, and even though he is God, the Father and him are the same thing, but he's saying, oh my God, why have you forsaken me? That makes absolutely no sense.
Okay, great. So you've said the fact that Christ, the second person of the Trinity, the Son of God, by virtue of becoming human and crying out to the Father, that there's a problem with that, a logical problem, and that's not something that Islam has to deal with. Now, number one, I don't think that's a logical problem, but number two, I also don't think that's true Islamically.
Go ahead.
I'd like you to tell me
Sure.
where I may have that wrong. I don't think I do.
You never know.
But I grant that you're the imam, right? So, my understanding, which I have from other Muslims, which is part and parcel of why I hold that, and have read in the Islamic sources, that the Quran itself does intercede for Muslims, or will, on the Day of Judgment, right? The Quran will appear as a pale man and will say that it was the Muslim's companion in life and will intercede for him. Is that not correct?
Can you give me a reference for that?
That's in the hadith.
Which hadith?
Seriously, you don't think I'm going to go back? I mean, like, I don't know.
Are you saying that's not in the hadith?
That is not in any authentic hadith that I've ever read.
So you'd say it's
can
not
I
authentic.
can I finish?
No, that's
Okay.
fine. If
It's
you
okay.
say it's not authentic.
Hold on, take it easy, Anthony. So to say the Quran will appear as a pale man, and what did you say? It would be with
The Quran will intercede for Muslims and will say that it
as a
was,
pale man.
well, that's in a Tirmidhi hadith, for example.
Let's just let's look for it. So no, hold on, because see, I like to discuss on evidences. So if can I find a hadith in a Tirmidhi that says the Quran will be a pale man? Let's just find that, and then I will explain from there.
Okay, so, but that kind of misses the point that I'm making. You're focused on the pale man part, but
Excellent.
I think you and I both know that it's classically Islamic to say the Quran will intercede for you.
So let me explain the shifa of the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay,
Explain that.
excellent. The Quran is kalamullah. Okay. What?
You told us that part.
I know, but that's part of the explanation.
Okay,
Take it
go ahead.
easy, Anthony.
Okay.
Okay. The Quran that is read by us, right? Meaning we read the Quran. That kalamullah will be a evidence for us. Do you understand what that means? That the fact that we stayed up at nights and read the Quran will make shifa. It will be an intercession. It will not be asking Allah for help or asking Allah separately than anything. It is only the fact that that good deed will be an intercession for you. Like if you had read the actual hadith, it talks about the Quran and another hadith about the siyam, the fasting. Right? We don't say fasting by itself is an entity, but it's the deed that is that intercedes for you.
So does the hadith say that the deed of reciting the Quran will intercede for you, or does the hadith say the Quran will intercede
again,
for you?
so this is the thing. When you say Al-Quran was Siyam, these two will be shifa. They will be an intercession, right? So what does that mean? That it is that deed of reading the Quran. Do you understand what that means now?
Well, I understand what you're claiming.
Okay.
That's just not what.
So let's see
the.
I searched for it. The first one that popped up, I know it's in Tirmidhi, but the first. I know it's in Tirmidhi, but the first one that popped up was in Ibn Majah.
So in Tirmidhi, there is no such hadith that says the Quran will be a pale man.
That's just the first one that popped up.
Okay, so can we look at the Tirmidhi one first?
Okay, I'll find the
I just want to see.
Notice the Ibn Majah version says the Quran will come on the day of resurrection like a pale man, and will say, "I am the one that kept you awake at night and made you thirsty during the day."
Excellent. So let's now go to. Hold on, take it easy, guy.
I was trying to. Oh, you're trying to see that.
No, take it easy. This is why.
You're not seriously going to go to Google Translate, are you?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I know you know
You're
Arabic.
funny.
I know you know Arabic.
You don't have Arabic keyboard?
No.
Okay. I was just going to show you the takhrij. You know what takhrij is? Okay. The checking of the narration.
Okay.
This narration of Ibn Majah is a very weak narration.
They didn't grade it this week.
Can you show me their grading?
Yeah, it's in Hassan.
Let me see it. Go, just hit back.
It's in Arabic now.
You just ruined his phone. You can't see anything.
Oh,
in
he'll
English
see
now.
it. Where does it say Hassan? No, this is Darus Salam's grading, right? So this is not sunnah.com, just a website. Okay?
So Darussalam.
Darussalam is a publishing house, right? But that's not the grading
They
of...
give the rating according to Hadith scholars, right? They're not just making it up.
No. So we need to... I know this hadith, and that's why I was telling you, right? And I can show you the weakness in it if you like. Darussalam is a publishing house, not a scholar itself, right? Their grading by itself is not a hujjah, it's not an evidence. You have to look at the evidence from the scholars of hadith. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I asked you, right? Now, if you like, and if you... How long are you in San Diego? Let me just finish. How long are you in San Diego?
We're leaving tonight.
Oh, right. I was going to invite you to my house. I have Ibn Majah.
I appreciate the fact that you would have invited
you got dinner, you got tea, I got you. All right? And I would sit with you and explain to you from the sharh of Ibn Majah why this hadith is da'if actually. Because I teach Aqidah and I taught this subject. Okay? In the authentic narration, and again, this is not in a Tirmidhi, by the way, anyway. Let me see the Tirmidhi riwayah you had, right? You said you had a Tirmidhi riwayah?
So I have to search for it.
I'll wait for it. In the authentic narration, it does not mention the pale man. That's why I was trying to explain to you. Rather, the Quran and its shifa is from the one who stayed up at night. So the shifa is the Quran asking intercession from the deed of you staying up nights. Do you understand the understanding there, right?
Yeah, right there.
Now, when you look at Jesus calling out on the cross according to the Bible that you believe in, right? Saying, oh my God, why have you forsaken me? That is not about a deed that you did. That is one entity calling out to another entity for help and asking, why have you forsaken me? Is that correct or wrong?
So that you know, I'm not saying I have any problem with that. I absolutely affirm that.
So you
the second
affirm
person of the Trinity took on a human nature.
So he was no longer God.
No, he was both God and man, and by virtue of the incarnation, was able to call out to the Father as God.
Okay, so I want to understand that.
I wasn't trying to give an apology.
Okay, so I want to understand. Okay, so let me understand what you affirm. You're saying Jesus came to earth and became a man.
Absolutely.
So was he that all-powerful, all-being, has no needs God at that time or not?
He was both God and man.
Again, that's like a square circle,
you
right?
You can say that's like a square circle.
Because God has no needs, right?
As his divine nature. So think of it this way. I mean, it's not that hard, really.
It is hard because it's confusing. It's like a square circle.
You're asserting that it is. But
to me, it is.
There hasn't been a demonstration of that. What I'm getting at is as God. So as an example, you think man has a soul, man has a body.
Yes.
Right. Your soul and your body are not the same thing. They're both you.
True.
We don't want to get into a whole tangent here.
I'm with you.
But there are things that are true of you bodily that aren't true of you in terms of your soul or spirit.
Okay.
Right? If your body dies, does your soul die?
No.
No. As Christians, we believe Christ is both God and man, just like man is body and soul.
Okay.
Right? Man has those two constituent elements. But so all I'm saying is, although the attributes of Christ as God are such as he is omniscient, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, all of these things, his human attributes and qualities are most definitely character. He's in one place at one time. He gets hungry. He slept. He wept. He died.
Did he go to the bathroom?
He absolutely did.
God went to the bathroom.
Yeah. God became flesh
and went to the bathroom.
Dwelt among us. And
did he get diarrhea?
Secured self. He died on the cross. What more do you want?
That's pretty.
What more do you want than that? Huh?
You are Muslim, aren't you? This is a secret, right? He got tortured.
Absolutely.
God got tortured.
Plucked out. His back was whipped.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And he cried out to who?
He cried out to his Father.
But he didn't say Father. He said God.
But
he said my God. But he is God.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense now.
Again,
that doesn't make sense.
We already talked about that earlier.
And it didn't make sense earlier. But let me.
Well, then it doesn't make sense to say Allah has sifat.
Of course it does.
No.
Allah's sifat are a part of Him.
Allah's part of the Father.
But Allah's sifat don't separate. Allah's sifat don't need to go to the bathroom.
Allah's sifat.
Go ahead.
You believe that the Quran is the instantiation in some sense?
I just told you earlier.
No, I heard what you said.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No Muslim says that this right in your hand is a part of Allah.
Well, first of all, that's not even an Arabic.
Exactly. So for you to lift this up doesn't make any sense, right?
But you knew what I meant.
I do.
This represents that.
And I will tell you, as I told David, when you didn't listen, I guess, but I'll say it again. You guys want to be? All right,
no, I'm listening to you, but I'm also finding what you wanted because I can get it really quickly.
Okay, so now the issue gets to be the sifat of Allah are a part of Allah. Even if Allah reveals You understand the difference between revealing and becoming separate, right? The sifat of Allah never have weaknesses. You can burn the written copy because that's not the Quran. The Quran is what is recited. It cannot be corrupted. Somebody can make a mistake in their reading, but their reading is not the sifat of Allah. Now Jesus saying my God
Jesus' human nature is not part of his divine essence.
Okay, so that's the confusing part here, because you're saying that the soul is a part of me. Without the soul, I can't exist. Right?
You
so
are your soul.
You are thank you.
Soul.
So if you are your soul, and then Jesus is his soul, and you're saying that's God. So for God to be now saying my God makes you know that doesn't make sense.
No. But you misunderstood me.
Okay.
Christ has both a human soul and a human body, and his divine nature. Man is
so
both
Christ
body and soul.
is three things now.
No, well, this is classic Christianity.
This is excellent.
If you're just learning this,
I'm just learning it from you because you're such a good explainer.
This is classic Chalcedonian. You've
Excellent.
heard of Chalcedon, right?
I have.
Chalcedon was a Christian creed, 451. The classic Chalcedonian statement is just like man is body and soul, God and man is one Christ.
Okay, so, let me just ask that. Let me just ask, because I want to understand that.
Okay.
Let me just okay. So Christ, according to you, he was human. He had a soul.
Real body and soul.
And he was God. That's three things in Christ.
So he has all the attributes of humanity, body and soul, and he has a divine nature.
So that's what I just said, right?
So human nature and divine nature.
So he has a soul.
Absolutely.
When was his soul created?
So again, the soul of Christ,
Anthony.
It's human.
Okay,
right?
So when was his human soul created?
Christ became man when he became incarnate.
So the soul, it's a very simple question. It's okay. Nobody else got in. Go ahead.
Yeah.
When was his soul created? The soul of Christ.
I'm saying that the humanity of Christ's body and soul
Yes.
starts at the point of conception, the virgin birth.
Okay. Can you give me any reference in the Bible about when the soul of Jesus was created, as you just gave that answer, but about the soul?
So the Bible teaches that man's soul is formed along with his body. It's formed within him.
Okay,
so Psalm 139,
okay,
among others, talks about the fact that God knits people together in their mother's womb. This is, from the Christian perspective, the time when man himself comes into existence.
So Jesus came into existence as a man.
Human.
Okay.
Yeah, his human nature.
So Jesus' soul.
Zechariah 12:10 also makes, or 12:1.
Those are not about Jesus, right? Those are general.
Those are about
human beings.
You asked about souls and bodies.
I asked you about Jesus' soul particularly.
So, just like you reasoned earlier, from the general to the particular,
I'm with you.
all I'm saying is...
So you're saying the general rules about humanity are why you're taking the fact in your mind that Jesus' soul came in. So Jesus had no soul until he was in the womb of Mary.
He had no human soul until he was in the womb.
And when he came in the womb of Mary, his soul came into creation.
So yeah, his body and soul originate at that time.
And his body. And when he died, according to you on the cross, where did his soul go?
His body died, his soul remained united to his divine nature, and he ascended into heaven.
So before that time, there was no soul, but there was Jesus. Before Jesus was born.
Yeah.
He had no soul.
Right.
So then God increased the soul of Jesus later.
No.
That's what you just said.
That's not at all what I said.
Okay, let me repeat it again.
That's not all what I said.
Let me say what I said, and you can correct me. Anthony, we got this. Okay.
So you the laugh track over here. It wasn't even what I said.
People laugh. It's okay. So
it wasn't good.
Now, when you said that Jesus had no soul before his human conception, right? So there was Jesus, part of God. There was God himself, and then the Holy Ghost. We're not even going to go there. Okay. Then Jesus came to the womb of Mary, and a soul was created. They didn't exist before. Then you're saying no? You're saying no? Or?
He's not saying anything.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were shaking your head. Okay, so then Jesus was born with a human soul and a human body and a godly nature, three components. Then he goes on a cross and he dies, and his body dies. His soul now, that was newly created, now becomes a part of God.
No.
No? That's exactly what you said. Well, okay, tell me what you said
exactly
then. Tell me what you said then.
And just like you said to me earlier, not putting words in your mouth.
I'm not.
Now you
really.
accept from me, I didn't say anything like that. Right?
I got it. You guys got it on video, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
We got it on video.
Good. Tell me again.
What I told you, you
Okay.
said his soul increased, and I never said anything along those lines either. What I said is very clear, and this is just classic Christian theology. Right? Chalcedon is just solidifying what was always taught by Christians. At Chalcedon, it says that Christ took on a true human nature. Human nature is a body, soul entity. Right? Man is an ensouled being, an embodied soul. Okay? So when Christ takes on a human nature, he takes into union with himself a full human nature, body and soul. When the body dies, the soul doesn't cease to exist. And so when Christ died physically, his soul didn't cease to exist. Neither did it separate the union that had already been established at the incarnation between Christ as a divine person and that human soul. They're still fundamentally united. The soul doesn't become a part of the Godhead, but it still remains a human soul.
Okay.
It never becomes a part of the divine nature.
So you have it on video, and so do we.
Yeah.
But I'm going to repeat this again. Okay. So there was no soul before Jesus was in the womb of Mary, right?
Right.
Okay. So Jesus came in the womb. God created a new soul.
Yeah.
For Jesus.
Yeah. We don't
became
think
a part of
maybe
Jesus.
we have a different conception of what the soul is.
It's okay. Let's just keep going. Soul, body,
Soul and
connected.
body.
Okay. He came out on earth. You're with me, Anthony?
Yes.
Okay. He goes to the cross. He gets killed, according to you.
Everything's
Now his soul and body separates. His soul that was not a part of the God union before, was not a part of Jesus before, where does that soul go?
It remains his soul.
And where does he go?
He goes back to the Father.
So the Father now has an increased soul. You said it, and you said it again, and now you're denying it.
Wait a minute.
All right, Anthony. Thank you.
Wait a minute. When you say you believe that Allah raised Jesus to himself, you believe that eventually someday you guys are all going to go to, somebody's going to Jannah, right? Somebody's going to heaven.
Every Muslim, Allah make us.
Say they're added to Allah, like they're some part of his nature?
We do not believe.
'Cause I don't believe that either.
Let me respond. We do not believe we in Jannah are a part of Allah.
And neither do I.
But you said no. But you said Jesus is a part of God.
No.
We're talking about Jesus' soul.
I said.
You got God, bro. It's over. It's over. Thank you.
You've been asserting
It's
and
over,
begging the
man.
question the whole
Look,
time.
it's over. It's over. Thank
you've been
you.
asserting. Hold
Thank
on.
you.
Hold
It's
on.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you can get Sam.
Thank you.
We'll bring Sam in here in just a second. But we need to be clear here. I never said that Christ's soul becomes part of the deity. That was your claim. That was your claim. You're laughing,
I'm glad this is recorded.
right? Oh, I'm so glad because I'm going to show.
Okay,
this
so where does
in
that soul go?
simple English, or
Where does the soul
Christian
go?
theology. What does it have to do with where does the soul go?
Jesus' soul, where does it go?
Do you think if somebody's soul goes to heaven, it becomes part of God?
No.
Well, neither do I.
But you said Jesus' soul connected with him. It doesn't separate and goes back to being a
I
part
said-
of God.
But listen.
Come on, you guys
I
gotta
did
see
not
this.
say that
Come
it goes back
on.
to being part of God. You said that. And then you had your laugh track, and then you turned and pandered to the camera.
Where does the
What
soul?
I
Where
told
does Jesus' soul go?
Okay, now let's be clear. Your assumption is if his soul goes up to heaven, then somehow it becomes
Where
part
does
of the deity.
Jesus' soul go?
Jesus' soul remains forever united to his divine nature.
Okay, and where does his divine nature? Is he back being a part of God?
What do you mean back to being part of God? He never
Wait,
ceased being part of God.
But he was human here, right?
As to his divine nature, he's always God.
Okay.
He never ceases to be God.
So then when he got a
When he
soul
takes
attached
on
to him,
himself a human nature, which
Yes.
includes a human soul,
right?
at his death he doesn't cease.
Okay, so that soul is now a part of his divine nature of
No,
Jesus, a part of.
it's-
Oh yeah, Allah.
That soul remains united in his person.
Yes.
It's his soul,
So
but
God-
it's not his divine nature.
So it's a part of him.
That's your disc job.
Is it part of God or not?
It is his. He has a
can't
divine
answer.
nature and a human nature.
Is that soul, because his human body is dead, so his human soul, is it a part of God or not?
It is not a part of his divine nature.
It's
That's
not a
what
part
I'm
of God
telling
or not?
you. It's not part of his divine nature.
So Jesus' soul is not a part of God.
It's not part of his divine nature. Do you
It's a very
understand
simple question.
It's a very simple answer.
Is it a part of God or yes or no?
It's a very simple answer. His soul is his human nature, not his divine nature. Jesus, that person, has two natures, divine and human. You keep wanting to conflate the two.
So-
Christian theology has always said that's not true. And
So
you're
when-
just learning for
when
the first
Jesus
time,
died-
after doing DIO for
not the
so
first time.
long,
It's not the
for the
first time.
first time, you're just
Listen,
now learning that's
listen.
not Christian theology.
Anthony.
We got it on film.
Anthony,
You said it.
Anthony.
You
This
said
is
it.
the first time, as I said, that the way you're explaining it, right? Because other Christians explain it differently. But let
Well,
me
I'm
let
telling
me
you
let me
Orthodox
tell you.
Chalcedonian
Okay, let me
Christology.
tell you this. The question you're not answering: that soul that got created, is that a part of God? Yes or no?
Not in the sense you're asking.
Okay, thank you. So
Right?
the soul of Jesus is not a part of God.
In the
Got
sense
it.
that you're asking, that
Thank
you're
you.
assuming it's part of his divine nature.
Okay,
I'm
so
telling
you're saying Jesus' soul, his human body's dead, but his soul is not a part of God. Thank you. I got it.
Absolutely.
Okay,
That's
even
just-
after he died.
That's just classic Christianity.
Even after he died.
Welcome to Christianity 101.
So Jesus' soul is in heaven.
Yes.
So Jesus will be God, and his soul will be in heaven.
Why are you doing this?
Because
This was
God.
YMCA?
I mean, you hope you will be in heaven, right?
Yeah, and I'm not
But
going
you're
to
not
ever be God.
But your
On your
soul
assumption,
is separate,
if his
right?
soul's in heaven, then it's part of God.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
you
never
did.
said that.
That's the
I
assumption.
never said
That's
that.
the assumption
I
of
did
your
not
argument.
make that assumption.
That
this
is your
this
assumption.
This is a flat
That is your
mistruth.
assumption.
I'll say it, right?
And if that's
That
not
is
your
not.
assumption, then
My
your
let me
argument
let me
doesn't
let me
follow.
explain it to you again. Okay, let me explain my assumptions. Okay.
Okay.
Let me explain what I. You said Jesus did not have a soul before the
Prior to
womb
the
of Mary.
incarnation.
Let me speak now, right? Jesus comes to the womb of Mary. God creates a body for Jesus and a soul for Jesus. Now Jesus is a body, a soul, and a divine nature, according to you. Then he lives in life, and he lives with those three components. Now at the cross, according to you, his body dies, right? And his soul and his divine nature go back to being a part of God. So now,
Notice the conjunction, soul and divine nature.
that's
Go
what
ahead.
I said.
Okay.
Yeah,
Notice
go
the
back to
conjunction.
being a part of God.
No, I didn't say that. That's where you keep
Okay,
making the false
so
turn.
so where does the soul go?
But you're confusing location with ontology.
Okay.
You seem to think that Christ's location means some fundamental
So
change in his ontology.
Christ on
That's
earth.
just a complete category
Christ
mistake.
on earth
That's
was God walking
incredibly
around,
irrational.
right?
This whole time in this argument, you've been saying that you object to the incarnation because it's irrational, and now you're being as
It is.
irrational as possible.
I'm not.
You keep making a false turn that rests on the false assumption that if Jesus goes to the Father, then something about his ontology changes. That's just utterly fallacious.
Okay,
That's just utterly fallacious.
When
Even
Jesus
if you
was
show your teeth.
walking around on
Even if
earth,
you show your teeth,
when
like
Jesus
you
was
said,
walking around,
Uh-huh.
was he God himself?
he was both God and man.
Okay, so as God, he was walking on earth
Absolutely.
in a human form
With a human body, absolutely.
and a human soul,
And a human soul.
and that changed
What changed?
when he died on the cross.
His body died, it went to the
Excellent.
dust. His soul remained his soul, but
Okay.
never his divine nature. It's
so-
still not his part of his
So
divine
his
nature.
soul then,
Never becomes part of his
okay,
divine nature.
so his soul will never be part of God.
It'll never be a part of his divine nature. Christ is
Okay,
one
all right,
person.
I got you.
Yeah, he's-
Thank you,
He's
I get
a
it.
divine
Okay.
person. He has
I,
two natures.
I understand your answer.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't agree with it.
Well, okay, well, I didn't
But
expect
that's-
you to agree
that's
at this
my-
point.
okay,
But I'm
sure.
saying you understand what it is now. though.
David, do you have the same?
You understand.
Do you agree that the soul of Christ is not a part of God?
it's not a part of his divine nature?
You believe that? David would.
That's basic Christianity. I mean,
Oh, I mean, many Christians here, preachers and pastors, have said the soul of Christ is a part of God, right?
Well-
but you're saying it's not. Okay, understand.
see, I don't know how
You're
they
saying
read
the
it.
soul of Christ was created, and when Christ died, his soul does not become God.
absolutely not.
Okay, his soul is in heaven.
So let me just say this then. I can't speak for other Christians,
Okay.
right? In this sense, the people you
Got
talk
it.
to, right? I'm not going to say you're misrepresenting them. There are
You can talk to
possibilities, right? No. But I'm saying they might be speaking less than precisely,
Okay.
or you might be misunderstanding them.
Okay.
I can tell you this, even with all the laugh tracks going on, I can tell you this: historic, classic Christianity, in terms of its official formal creeds and confessions, teaches exactly what I just told you.
Okay.
Right? The Chalcedonian Creed, which is historic Christianity in its affirmation of the natures of Christ, has always affirmed that Christ had a fully human nature,
Okay.
and those two natures forever are distinct. His human nature could never be his
Interesting.
divine nature.
So,
Never.
so the soul of Christ is not a part of God.
It's not a part of his divine essence, his
Okay.
nature, right? And this goes back to a fundamental distinction of Christianity that I think we agree on. And you would hold it as a Muslim, not as a, I'm not saying you hold this, the creator-creature distinction. There's an absolute distinction between the two.
Yes.
And so as Christians, as Christians, we affirm that distinction, and we don't believe the incarnation ever blurs that distinction.
But we believe Jesus was a creation. Wa alaikum salam.
Well, you believe he only was a human being.
He was a creation.
Yeah. And
But you believe he was a creation and the creator.
We believe that he was the creator who took upon himself a human nature.
So again, that means you mixed the two.
which never become mixed. Again, if you read the Chalcedonian Creed, it says without admixture, without intermixing. So classic Christianity has always said those two natures remain distinct. They're both natures of the divine word. They belong to the word, but they never become the other. His divine nature forever remains divine. His human nature forever remains human.
But his human nature started at the womb of Mary.
Yes, because it's human.
Right? And his body died, and his soul will live, but never be a part of God.
It'll always be united in his one person. It'll never be his divine nature.
In the one person with the Father?
Yeah.
So soul then is now united with the Father.
The Son is always one with the Father.
Okay.
There's no change to the divine nature.
There is, because you just added a soul to it.
No.
It's united with it, right?
You don't even.
Is the soul united with Jesus forever or not?
It's hypostatically. It's not ontologically.
Wow.
They don't become fused. I think you're thinking in terms of.
That's what it sounds like,
some
right?
tangible substance called deity.
No.
There's this other tangible stuff, and they get glued or something.
Let me just explain. Okay, so this is when your idea of God, right? There are three components, right?
What do you mean by what components are you referring to here?
Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
I wasn't sure if you were still talking about Christ, divine nature, human nature.
Well, that is Christ. It's one of the three, right?
Yeah, up here, yeah. But
up here. Okay, I got you.
Components you're talking about here.
I get you. I know what you. I like to be clear. So what I'm talking about is God, in your understanding, has three distinct components that come together as one: the Father, No. Okay.
That would be like us saying you believe that Allah has these components, his face and his shin and so on, that comes together as Allah.
It wouldn't, because it wouldn't. Let me explain why not.
No,
because Allah's yad, for example, doesn't detach and come walk around on earth.
But we don't think Christ detached.
Okay, but you do say that God took on human form.
Yeah. Human nature.
Okay, so
we also believe that God is everywhere, so there's no detachment.
It's not like when I say took on, that's metaphorical. I don't mean.
If God is everywhere, then what's the difference between you and Jesus? You're both God then.
No.
God is everywhere, so God's in you, right?
See, why do basic terms break down like that with you?
Because you don't
God
make
is
sense.
Everywhere to saying God is everything. Those are two different terms.
So that's the thing. Jesus was God, you're saying, not present at Jesus. So that's why you're trying to confuse the issue, because there's a distinction. You're saying...
I'm making the distinction. You're not.
I am. Let me explain it. So when you say God is everywhere, you don't mean he's everywhere in the sense that Jesus was here. Right?
In the sense that Jesus as incarnate?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So there is that's your breakdown. Okay, so let's take it back to that. So when Jesus was walking around, it is different from God just being everywhere according to you.
Because there's a hypostatic. You know what the term hypostatic
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
When you add,
there's a hypostatic union. Hypostatic pertains to the person.
So that means
the person of the Son is not a physical, tangible thing. He can be present without taking up any space. Right? We're not saying he occupies space.
But right now, this here, us walking around, according to you, God is everywhere in a sense.
Everything.
Excellent, got you. But when Jesus is walking around, now this is different than just saying God is everywhere, because you're saying,
absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, so when Jesus came to earth, not that he was already everywhere like that, you can't just go on a loop.
He is always everywhere.
But there's a difference, right, of Jesus coming physically, right?
Yeah, he's incarnate in the womb.
Yes or no?
That flesh doesn't come from heaven.
Thank you. But that connection is from heaven.
Starts in the womb.
Excellent. So now, when Jesus, according to you, was walking around, he was God walking around, right?
God
in the human form.
And man. He is both God and man.
Got it.
Around. Yes.
Got it. So that is different.
That person.
Excellent. So that is different than right now when you could say God is everywhere, but he's not walking around as a person, right?
Yeah, but the fact that he's everywhere makes that sort of thing possible.
Okay.
Right.
But again, like you said, it is not the same as him just being everywhere regularly, right?
Of course not.
Okay, thank you. So when God
Destroy the uniqueness of the incarnation.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. When I was saying that, you were like, well, he's everywhere anyway.
No.
Like, well, then that doesn't make sense. So let's go back to that. He's in the womb, and now a soul is created that was not there before, right?
Yeah, well, I'm still trying to figure out why we're back here again.
Because
We
you
established this.
you went in a loop. That's why.
No,
I'm
you
bringing-
went on a loop.
Okay, so let's go back. Okay, that soul gets connected now to God, the Jesus, right?
Jesus is
Now-
a divine person with a divine nature.
Now has a soul connected to him.
Now this human nature is brought into union with his divine
Thank you.
through his one person.
Thank you.
It becomes the nature of that person.
Now the body will die,
yeah,
but now that soul will remain fused,
but
right?
I
That's
know
what you're
mean by
saying?
fused, though. But well, I'm saying it's still his nature.
Okay.
It's still his. That
Okay.
soul is his soul.
Okay, but it's
fused-
not a part of God.
It's not a part of his divine nature.
Gotcha.
They're always
But
distinct.
something new got connected to God, right?
But what do you mean by connected? You're acting like these are
Oh,
Legos.
what do you mean? No. You're telling me they're like Legos, right?
No, I'm
God
telling you
came in
they're
and you
not.
plugged the human body and you plugged the
telling you
soul,
they're not.
and then the human body
that's-
falls off and the soul
And
connects,
that's
right?
why,
That's
why
what you're
shooting
saying.
randomly and hitting air.
All right. Well, it's nice talking to you, Anthony.
Thank you.
Thank you. David, I wish we.
Now you want Sam?
I want Sam. Sam, look, let me explain this, right?
I don't mean like.
No, I don't want
You
Sam,
mean
but yeah,
this?
it's like listen
No,
to
no,
me,
I
listen
mean
to me. You guys are welcome anytime. We're not here to debate. We're here to give da'wah. If somebody
Didn't you
wants,
invite Christian Prince to debate? You
sure.
said you're willing
Let
to
me,
meet everyone?
can I, let me finish. Let me finish, and you'll get the answer. You're doing the Anthony thing now, right, David? You were doing so good so far, right?
Yeah,
So
David, wait a minute.
No, I just-
you were.
I
Yeah.
gotta do the
I
David
thought you were
thing now.
inviting people to debate, so if you're saying you weren't doing that, then I was
let me
just
explain
wanted to
it,
be clear.
and I've said it many times, right?
Come on, David,
Which,
let him talk.
yeah, thank you, David. Anthony,
I
man,
gotta
you
rest.
get the first dub this time. All right. I still won't leave you hanging. All
gotta even
right.
out. We
So
gotta even out.
we are du'at. We are giving da'wah.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody wants to debate, they're more than welcome to come. Do you understand the difference now? Okay. So Christian princess, a prince, whatever. I'm sorry.
You got that in for the camera.
I've said that many a time.
I know.
I have to say, Mr. Prince, if you're afraid to show your face, I can get you a little niqab. What do you think about that idea? He could put like a little scarf on, and that way he won't show his face, and he can come in person like you guys.
So for the record, I have no idea why he doesn't want to be seen.
Princess, Prince.
He doesn't.
He doesn't know why you don't want to show your face.
No. Christian
You
Prince.
guys heard that? Christian Prince.
Prince.
Anthony saying, why aren't you showing your
Christian
face?
Prince is. Anthony is saying. I don't know Christian Prince.
I don't know him either.
I have no idea why he doesn't want to be.
Me neither.
But that doesn't mean he's afraid.
Well, I mean, there's some reason, right? And neither one of us know.
be
So
like-
I'm
so-
offering.
So since neither
Could
one
be
of
his
us
job.
know,
You have a job, I'm sure,
Since
right?
neither one of us
What do you
know,
do?
just like you said earlier, you're not going to assert something.
You're a YouTuber. That's your job.
My main job.
Wait, that's your main job? You do this for money? Wow. What about you? What do you do?
I do a number of things. I am a pastor. I told you that at the start.
Cool.
I serve in prisons. That's
Oh,
what
nice.
I'm the regional
I used to do the
director
same thing,
in
man.
South
Nice.
Carolina for prisons.
Wow.
I was converted 18 in prison.
Oh, wow.
So I've always had a love for prisoners. Want to go in prisons. And I also,
Careful how you say that, but all right.
and then I also have a night job where I
Cool.
do a lot of online.
So Christian,
not-
Christian Prince, we are together making an offer that if you would like to have a conversation like this and you don't want to show your face, I'm offering to bring you a niqab so you can cover your face, and we had a respectful nobody got hurt, nobody got beat up, nobody got fired, right? So we're making that offer to you. Nobody got fired. I mean, I work a regular job. I might get
yet,
fired,
not
right?
yet.
Not yet. Maybe I will. I'll take it for God. No problem. I'm not afraid.
With that said, assuming he has some, reason like, maybe his job doesn't want him out there showing himself or something like that, why wouldn't it be acceptable then to debate him online or something like that?
Excellent. So the thing that happens online that we see is that somebody has a mute button, right? And what happens is, as we've, and again, I don't watch his channel, but what brothers have sent me clips and things, he just mutes them and talks over them. And that doesn't really benefit. Like, you see how we had a respectful conversation? We tried to keep it in person. And look, he doesn't have to fly here. If he wants to come somewhere, he can give me his address, no problem. I'll fly there. I'm not afraid of you coming here. He shouldn't be afraid of coming here either, right?
So let me
So
say this on
what I'm
the-
saying is, I prefer this kind of a conversation where we can have a conversation, not just mute each other and yell over each other, and somebody controls a button and somebody throws references without being here, right? So this is why.
I like that. Let me say
good.
this.
I'm glad you like it.
I think there are channels on both sides that do some of that.
Sure.
People can.
I don't do Skype.
Are,
I don't do Zoom. I don't do those things.
There are channels where both sides have been respectable in the course of things.
Christian Prince has not,
well,
and you know that.
No, I don't know anything.
Okay,
no.
Watch the show and then you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Listen to me. I haven't watched. I'm not. Like
you don't watch the show?
I'm not like a big. I don't watch all sorts of things.
Have you watched the show or not?
No, I mean I've seen. Like you, I can honestly say before God, I've probably seen about as much as you have, right?
And you haven't seen much.
And I haven't.
You're not a big fan of Christian Prince, I guess.
I'm not saying anything either way. I just.
Gotcha.
I don't know who the ruler is of Zamunda.
Then you wouldn't be a big fan of the ruler of Zamunda, right?
I know.
King Jafar.
I'm just saying I don't know.
So what I will say, I
much.
appreciate the civil conversation. Right? And again, we are du'at, we are giving da'wah towards the oneness of Allah. We believe Allah is one. He doesn't become two, He doesn't become three. His sifat, His self. Let me finish, bro. Come on, Anthony, we're doing so good. David, where are you at?
Good. This is our closing.
All right, our closing. So let me close.
Okay, you close.
I'll let you go first. You're the guest. Go ahead.
Yeah. Why don't you guys take 2 minutes each or something like that?
Excellent. Go ahead.
To close out. Does that work?
Oh, sure.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead, Anthony. I'll let you speak.
I'll say this. I think we've gotten our major points out there.
Excellent.
Yeah. We've gotten some perspective. I think we've had a pleasurable dialogue. I've enjoyed you. I've expressed some of the things that I like. I love the fact that Muslims are willing to engage. I hope that never changes, unless, of course, they become Christian. That's the ultimate goal from our perspective, just like yours is for us to become Muslim. I think that if we honestly go back and look through this, there's been a good bit of breakdown in terms of, but also clarification. But I think there's been breakdown in some of the understanding. Hopefully some clarification along the way on both sides.
Good.
And I do think that we've, for the most part, established that we, from our perspectives, have an aversion to the other perspective, but there hasn't so much been an argument presenting that case against or for or what have you. So, I'm not trying to make any new arguments here. I'm just summing up from my perspective. I think this was pleasurable.
Productive.
I think it was productive. As a human being, I've enjoyed you. Obviously we're on different sides of the, God.
At least we both believe in God.
Yeah, that's true. And neither one of us are minimizing the serious nature of our differences, right?
Nope.
When I say I appreciate all these things, I'm not saying, okay, you're okay. You're not saying I'm okay, right?
I think you're okay.
But in the sense of, ultimately, both of us think the others are seriously off and have a reckoning to give.
We were going so well. Just kidding. Go ahead, David. I'll say it too. Don't worry. Go ahead, David.
Oh, sort of final thoughts here?
Yeah.
I'll just give you my basic view. Muslims generally go right to Christian theology, and this doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. Whereas Islam is this, easy to understand oneness and so on. My view is that when you really get into Islamic theology, you're talking about the attributes of Allah and the Quran and the nature of the Quran and the eternality of the Quran and the spirit of Allah and all these things. It seems more confusing than people are generally letting on. And my general view is just because something is confusing doesn't mean you dismiss it. Just because if you study quantum mechanics, no one gets it. They just understand that's how things work. So for me, it comes down to something we didn't actually get to here. What's true? What has God revealed? And what has He shown that He has revealed to us? And because if God said to me that Islam is true, and I would say, okay, I don't get all this stuff, but He's God and I'm not.
Okay.
But similarly, if God reveals that Christianity is true, then just to me it just wouldn't matter if there were some aspect of Christian theology and I said, I really don't get that, or it doesn't make sense or something like that.
Gotcha.
So, but I do think it's cool when we can have conversations like this. And Anthony, Sam, we're all similar in that we're willing to escalate under certain circumstances and so on.
Gotcha.
But I think it's better if we had nice conversations
Good.
like this.
Good.
That's my view.
So
It's getting late.
So no, wait. I gotta finish my thing. Sorry. Wait, man.
You're just gonna give a quick final thought.
2 minutes, yeah. All right. So
You think of a topic. I don't know.
all right. So first thing I would say, I want to appreciate you guys coming out. I want to appreciate your behavior, and I want to say that in the world that we live in, with atheism on the rise and all those kinds of things, I think Muslims, Christian, Jews have a lot in common, right? We do believe in God, at least. We do believe there's a creator, right? And that's something to focus on. I don't think this is really like a butting heads war type of a situation that some people want to make it, right? I don't think we should be insulting. I think we should be having a good conversation as we've had. I believe that there is one creator. That one creator is indivisible. He doesn't become two, he doesn't become three, he doesn't become four. He has one Zat. Zat of Allah is one. Sifat don't make it different. It is part of the same Zat of Allah. I believe that one creator, he sent Moses and Abraham and Muhammad and Jesus and all of these prophets as prophets. All of them had different miracles. Some were born without a father or mother. Some were born from the rib. Some were born without a father. Some split the ocean. Some split the moon. These are miracles sent to these prophets. And they all brought the same message. The message didn't switch up that, okay, right now you need to do good deeds and then later on just believe and somebody else will die for your sins. To me, that's not from the nature of God to be unjust to a bunch of people by making them accountable for their deeds and then unjust to another people by then just believing in something and no matter deeds they go to heaven. To me, that's not my belief. My belief is that there is one Allah, one creator. He revealed the Quran. He is the one that sent the prophets, and those prophets preach the same message. Believe in one creator, don't worship idols, no statues, no symbols of statues, all those kinds of things, and follow the prophet of your time. I believe this is the time of the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I invite all of you to believe in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and follow that guidance, and this is what I believe leads to heaven. Again, appreciate the time, appreciate the conversation, and you can bring Sam if you like.
Sam, we gotta break our fast. Come on.
Let me stop this real quick just to start it up again so the files not too long.
Sam!
Sir! Come on.
Got 4 minutes.
Take a seat if we
No, I'm good. Yeah, we have to. Not an option. So, 10 minutes, lock it up. Sam.
I was waiting for these guys to
All right, how you doing? You mind it? Should I call you Hassan? Oh, give me a hug.
No, people think I get offended when they call me Hassan. I don't.
What do you want me to call you? I don't want to call you anything
Whatever,
offensive.
Hassan,
What do you like? Sam, pick.
take what? I don't know what you
Pick a
guys
name that you like.
Hassan.
Hassan. How are you, Hassan? Where are you from?
I like this one, Jaman Baru.
You like it? Good.
Ashuri Chaldean.
Okay, you're Chaldean.
Ashuri Chaldean.
Ashuri
Don't
Chaldean.
speak Arabic.
Okay.
But I'm
Speak
from
Chaldean?
born in Kuwait. Yes, I speak
Nice.
it. Born in Kuwait.
You got a big community in San Diego.
Yes, you do. My cousins are there too.
Nice.
So don't tell them you might. Just kidding. 1974 came to Chicago, so I didn't learn Arabic. I learned Assyrian.
Gotcha.
Just want to be clear because some people think I speak Arabic.
I speak Arabic.
Yeah, I know you learn. But I keep telling them I don't speak native. I'm lying.
I believe you. You don't speak
I
Arabic.
don't speak it.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know what you guys were talking about. That's
We
what
had
I
a
said.
big conversation. We got like a few minutes before we have to go break our
Okay,
fast.
but God willing,
Yes.
I'll come back. We'll have
Anytime.
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
I'm in
Should-
Arizona,
Sam,
but I come up here like
assume.
once a month.
Tell you what.
Yes.
I'm inviting you in front of everybody here to break fast with me. Come to my house, eat food with me, drink tea. I have a library. We can sit down.
Because
So,
he's my right.
What time?
We go to Arizona. I'm in Arizona.
What time are you leaving?
There's no specific time we need to leave, so if you want us to come over, we'll come over. How late would it be?
Probably on 7 o'clock. We'll start dinner.
Whatever you want.
Then
to do. He's
we'll
my
be-
right.
Sounds
But
good, sounds
I
good.
come up once a month. I promise you. Now that we understand each other, I will come up. We'll
Okay. Let me give you my number.
Yes, and you take
And if you want, then today, if you guys are heading out,
that's
because it's gonna get. If we sit, we're gonna sit at least till 10 p.m. midnight. So you guys better be ready. All right.
224?
No. Let's turn the cameras out. And I don't want people. I don't want people. Me or you getting messages. Here, there you go. Just type it in. All right.
You're lucky.
All right.
I'll send it to him. Then yes, and so he's my right, but I will be
Okay.
coming more often. I'll see you guys.
All right, cool.
Because I come up here once a month. I see people. in
Once a
San
month?
Diego, I have
Man, you've been
cousins,
coming
and
this
I
often, never came and said hello, man?
I met you the wrong way.
Oh, we gotta meet you the right way.
That's why I come here.
Give me a hug. All right.
We'll talk more.
We will, we will.
Now you guys do have time for a quick conversation. So what's a good time?
He said a few minutes he wants to break.
Yeah, I have to leave, so, I mean, we leave at 5, so.
So go ahead. It's okay. We'll come.
Okay. Come back.
He'll
All
call,
right.
he'll call me if you want to go to his house. You're the
صلى عليه الله ما هب الصبا وعلى جميع الآل والأصحاب